Hey guys, Jason back here anchored at Harbor Park. We're actually in Madison today at the tail end of our coach retreat. We decided to get a little personal training from Skipp Benzing here. He's the owner and head coach at CrossFit Madtown at Madtown Weightlifting Club. So we're just kind of getting into the state of weightlifting in the US right now. So first off, Skipp, why don't you just tell our viewers kind of who you are, your background, and then we can get into that topic.
For sure. My name is Skipp Benzing. I have a master's degree in kinesiology. That's actually when I first started to kind of get involved in the sport. That was in 2002, leading up to the 2004 Olympic Games. Got interested in the sport, first of all, by trying to increase athletes' vertical jump performance, and really was kind of intrigued by the sport as a whole at that time. At that point in time, I decided to reverse my studies and switched over to within kinesiology sports studies. And for 2 years of my life, in grad school, I got to study the sport of weightlifting. I was living in Southern California at the time, so I got to learn from some really good coaches at that time period, including Coach Mike Bergner, who at that time I decided to kind of have as my lead mentor and kind of learn a lot of my things off of his experiences and what he had done in weightlifting throughout the years.
Sounds like a tough 2 years there.
Fun 2 years, yeah. For sure.
You know, if you guys, members of the gym, if you're new or old, developing your weightlifting technique, how fun it is and rewarding when you get it down. So yeah, we're kind of just going over like some of the basic techniques. What we thought was really interesting, just learning in the session was, we're all kind of in that get the bar past your knees and then kind of pull in your hips and bang it forward. But you were really teaching us, like you're saying, more of the vertical jump, which is more natural, getting the body to kind of explode up instead of, just trying to force our will on the bar. Mm-hmm. Want to get a little bit into that?
Yeah, and so how I'd like to describe this is through my own observations of watching weightlifting. I was lucky enough to have a few different people come through and give seminars here as well, where they were kind of teaching a few things kind of contrary to what I'd been taught in the past, but at the same time made complete sense for what was going on with the lifts. And one general thing that I've been noticing and seeing in lifting is the floor to the knee position. And within that floor to the knee position, most people right now are thinking about getting their knees out of the way of the bar, which is a very good thing. That's something that we want to think about doing, but they're doing it at the sacrifice of being at the wrong knee position when they get to the knees. And what I mean specifically by that is if they went from the floor to the knee, they would be getting their knees out of the way by pulling their knees straight back and being fully straight at their knees when they're in this in their knees position, as opposed to keeping the knee slightly flexed and pulling the hips back to get the knees out of the way of the bar. And I really feel strongly that position from the floor to the knee is causing a lot of issues with lifts when we get up to the top, which you described of hips coming forward, meeting the bar, banging the bar, and then looping the bar up over top.
Yeah.
And I feel to get vertical up top, we need to think about a little bit more of that floor to the knee position specifically.
And another thing I just thought of, it's kind of interesting because when we teach running technique, we teach the pose method, which is on your toes. When we use more hamstrings, calves, and quads versus striding out, using your hips, landing on your heels, which is going to tax your knees and your hips. So when you do the pose method, it feels more natural. You're using your muscles. When you got me in that other position where I'm more upright and back, I felt my hips more engaged, or my hamstrings and my glutes, my low back was firing. It didn't feel like an unnatural position where before I wasn't getting that engagement. I felt way more engaged in my muscles.
Without a doubt. And that's a big part of what's going to happen in the lifts as we do these. When you do them that way, you're going to feel like you're more engaged with the barbell and you're going to have more connection with the barbell as opposed to kind of having that slight disconnect kind of feeling that you would have without that. Like I said, this is within our own gym and our own weightlifting team. This is one of the major changes that we've made in the past couple years with our position work. Because I did the same thing at one point. I was teaching, even whether it's in my top-down method, to be at the knees, with the knees out of the way, but pretty much fully extended with the knees at that position. And I feel that position has been one of the big turning points for our gym as far as weightlifting.
Cool. And yeah, I know our coaches all really enjoyed learning it. I'm pretty sure we're going to implement some of this stuff for sure. So
Awesome.
thank you very much. We appreciate
Well,
the time.
no, thank you. So I appreciate having you guys in here and being able to help spread weightlifting and spread proper weightlifting.
Awesome. Thank you, Skip.
Thank you.